Hey there everyone, and welcome to me doing another VTuber reading of the Monster Girl Encyclopedia. God damn it, I almost fucked up the intro there immediately. Anywho, the Monster Girl we will be reading about today is kinda resembling the one that we did in the previous one, even though it's been like, I think, more than a week since I did that one. Anywho, that Monster Girl in question is the Ant Arachne. Yes, very similar to the giant ant, but still a different monster girl. Hang on, let me actually check real quick. Just turn the page. Yeah, they actually both come with additional artworks. Anyway, Ant Arachne. Family Arachne. Type arthropod, obviously. Habitat caves and burrows such as those found under plains and forests. Nature. Lustful and aggressive. Oh my. But that's normal. For anything in this book, that's normal. Diet. Animal corpses, grains, etc. Alright. The Ant Arachne is an arthropodal monster that is usually small among the Arachne family. Ant Arachne strongly resemble the giant ant. What gave that away? In appearance, so much so that giant ants mistake them for kin. They take advantage of this oversight to live among a colony of giant ants. They eat what the giant ants bring and rarely go outside the underground colony, meaning that it is rare to encounter one on the surface. Despite their superficial similarity, the Ant Arachne differs drastically in temperament from the giant ant, and can be quite savage. They, I don't know if I should censor that word, but I guess if I use one word without censoring it, shouldn't be too bad. They procreate with the giant ants bring, grabbing them at their discretion and hauling them to their beds. Alright. Affected by the giant ant pheromones, which provide the colony provide the colony, they are very prone to fun. Just in case I'm censoring that word. Always fully in the mood. Yeah, it obviously says something else there, but goddamn, if I was using a face cam, you would see the facial expression of someone struggling to censor this. Or complete another confusion. Anyway. Alright. An Ant Arachne will bind the limbs of her human using threads she spawns from her body, and joins with them, clutching their body and arms together. Though the human may... Okay, that's best left unsaid. Considering I Can't censor this without it sounding even more dirty than what it actually says. Alright. A bleep there, I guess. Alright. The ant Arachnes construct... Yeah. Wait, hang on a second. I think I misread something here. I'm still reading... Sorry, by the way, I'm still reading this with a mild headache. Funny enough, the headache is actually giving me severe tunnel vision. So I actually have to hold the book really close to my face. Alright, so I did misread that. The ant Arachne constant exposure to the giant ant pheromones means she will not be satisfied with one or two unions. I guess I can say that, considering the context of the rest of the entry. She will crush... Oh, sorry, she will crash her hips. And I think I should be very careful with the next line here. Upon them endlessly. They're having fun, they're wrestling YouTube. They're totally just wrestling there. And the woman is on top, as it should be. You know, the whole woman power or something like that. Obviously, YouTube is totally not gonna be stupid enough to fall for that, right? Anyway, enjoying the fun and fulfillment of bringing the human to have fun too, because it obviously says something else there, which I cannot say because YouTube totally is way too smart to look past this. Again and again. Yes, YouTube is way too smart for that. Though ant Arachnes themselves cannot emit pheromones like those of the giant ants, their absorption of the giant ant's pheromone makes her irresistible to the human, or to her human, who upon watching okay, I cannot say that without holy crap. Beep. I should really just read these and just add the beep, but then again, I'm a lazy editor here, so yes, I edit my own videos. In this case, I'm way too lazy and have way too much of an annoying headache to give a flying rat's ass about it. Anyway, having of her, because without the beeping there, I mean, obviously I can't say that word that comes before that, but you guys can make a guess. Body is unlikely to be able to suppress their own passion. Speaking of they're speaking of the human here, by the way. Unlike the giant ant, the ant Arachne does not work during the day. Instead, after catching a human, she spends both day and night in her bedchamber. In an alternating cycle of having precious fun with her human and napping. As the human is not required to work either, they are likely to submit to her whims and come to think of nothing but having fun with the ant Arachne. And that's the actual entry, but now we're moving on to the little bit of text that is... Well, not exactly a little bit of text, it's actually a massive artwork, and it is kind of like a whole sentence here. I mean, kind of like a whole thing, little bit of story in addition to that. Alright. An ant Arachne who has caught a human spends her days in... Okay. Dedicatans. Sorry, not familiar with that one, so I probably said something wrong there. When she is hungry, she helps herself to whatever sustenance she desires. When she is in the mood, I'll say there, she indulges, and when she is cool, she heats herself to being in the mood. There is very little an Aunt Arachne does other than her human. I mean, I like the last line there. There's very little she does, but her partner. I mean, hey, that's some dedication, right? Now that I think about it, since they're literally described as being... Oh my god, it's the first monster girl NEET. Huh. Yeah, huh. The first monster girl NEET. Anyway, with that said, that was the Aunt Arachne. Hope you guys enjoyed. Feel free to leave a like if you did. Helps me out, obviously. And also feel free to let me know your thoughts on this monster girl or any of the other ones that are in the book or that I've already read. Yada yada yada. Hey, I'm just finishing this first volume off with my VTuber model, and then I also have to just rename this series too, because of obvious reasons. Because I'll be using my face cam, so you'll be able to see my utter shock, surprise, and whatever embarrassment I have left. Leave my body on camera. Anyway, again, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!